I'm Dr. Segal. I'm the resident physician at Protea Medical Center in Tempe, Arizona. And today I'm going to be talking a little bit about detox. You don't need to spend a fortune on expensive detox protocols for a short, finite amount of time. Our bodies are really intended to detox themselves as long as they're given the proper nutrients and lifestyle that allows them to do so. So that includes exercise, a nutrient-dense diet with like organic fruits, veggies, great sources of quality protein. Those are really the things that our bodies need every day for our detox organs to do what they typically are intended to do. So if you're looking to detox, in my opinion, the focus should be making sustainable long-term changes that make your home a safer, healthier, cleaner place to live for you, your family, your pets. And that doesn't have to be something as grave as doing a whole home makeover. This can be done in small, sustainable steps that kind of carry forward for your everyday life. So, some easy ways that you can make your home a non-toxic place to be. Ditch plastic Tupperware and plates and avoid heating things that are made of plastic. Swap out cleaners and personal products for fragrance-free, paraben-free products. Skip things like fabric softeners and laundry scent boosters, and dryer sheets you can swap out for wool balls. Skip things like commercial air fresheners and swap those out for essential oil-based candles or diffusers. And we really want to swap out non-stick cookware. Those contain chemicals that are endocrine disruptors and can disrupt your hormones and fertility. So we hope to switch those out for something like a stainless steel or a cast iron skillet. So when you're swapping products for fragrance-free or paraben-free products, you can just kind of do this gradually. So wait until you're at the end of your shampoo bottle, right? And then when you go to the store, kind of look for those products that say paraben-free, aluminum-free, and are fragrance-free. Sometimes you can find on the label that they are intended for sensitive skin or they're hypoallergenic. Those are kind of some keywords to look for on the bottles. We want to avoid products that have the word fragrance, as this is kind of a parent word that overarches thousands of compounds, many of which have been shown in studies to disrupt our endocrine system and our hormones. So a reason that we want to avoid plastic when we can in the home is because over time, as you cut on plastic, as you wash it in the dishwasher, as you run it under hot water, as you microwave it, it leaches out these small microplastics. When we ingest these microplastics, they might not necessarily be digested as a nutrient in our body, and they can actually be absorbed into the bloodstream, and they can bind to estrogen receptors. Those estrogen receptors kind of cling to fat and they're stored in fat. This can cause dysregulated endocrine function and can actually make fat loss a little bit more difficult. Skip things like fabric softeners, laundry scent boosters, and dryer sheets. For example, as an alternative to dryer sheets, I actually use wool dryer balls. A lot of these products contain solutions that include solvents, and these can disrupt our endocrine system as well. Even making a change as small as this in the home can lead to perceivable changes in your endocrine function, as well as things like allergies and headaches. If you're looking for more information, Environmental Working Group has a great cleaning reference guide, as well as a label decoder, and even an app that you can use on your phone to scan products at the store. There is a lot of talk now about detox and how hydrotherapy can be used to do this. In so many gyms across the country, people are accessing saunas, steam rooms, cold plunges in order to detox their bodies. So the question becomes, how can we utilize these tools in a way that doesn't drain us and make us feel depleted? Because some of these therapies can be a bit intense for some individuals. The theory behind the mechanism of hydrotherapy really stems from alternating hot therapies with cold therapies. And so, what this does is it basically creates this pump in your body, uses the blood and the lymph vessels in order to detox the body. When the body's exposed to a hot application, it causes the peripheral vessels to vasodilate, which means they get bigger. They fill with blood and lymph. And then following that hot application, you administer a cold application. What that does is vasoconstrict. It makes those vessels narrower. And that kind of creates this pump in the body alternating between the periphery, the outer aspect of the body, with the internal organs. So this mechanism can be really beneficial to utilize for detox. So to utilize this, you can start with something as simple as 3 minutes of a hot exposure or a warm exposure even, and then alternate that with a shorter cold exposure. So for example, this might start with something like 3 minutes in the steam room, 1 minute in the cold shower. You can start with this and work your way up to longer durations, up to about 10 minutes of a hot application or hot exposure, and alternate that with a cold exposure. You can do this 3 to 5 times, but you always want to end on cold. We want to end on cold because that keeps our body nice and refreshed, awake, and it promotes that circulation throughout the body and actually decreases inflammation. You don't need to have fancy tools like a sauna or a steam room at a gym. You can even do this with things as simple as wet towels. And remember that longer is not necessarily better. We want to make sure that we are empowering our bodies to do what they do naturally in order to detox. So if you're feeling a little bit depleted after one of these sessions, back down in terms of duration. If you have any questions about this topic, feel free to reach out to me, and I hope to see you in the clinic.